Hello and welcome to Always Elite. Today we'll be reviewing the G1 Climax 29 Day 2 Block B matches that took place yesterday. First match on the card was a six-man with Evil, Sonata, and Bushi versus Will Ospreay, Yuya Uemura, and Kota Ibushi. Now there wasn't much to this match. It was a standard six-man tag. There wasn't too many, double and triple teams on this one. It was mainly singles, one-on-one in the ring, and the rest were all fighting on the outside for the most part. But there was a couple of cool spots in this one. Evil and Sonata targeted Kota's ankle that was injured in the Day 1 tournament. Even though it had a week to heal, it looked like he was still hobbling a little bit. But they made it even worse by beating on it. And how good is Will Ospreay? I mean, he's just amazing. I just can't believe how good he is and why he's not on the top of anywhere he is. I mean, he's on the top of the British scene, but not in Japan or in the US. I don't get it. He's just that damn good. Bushi, codebreaker to Uemura. Bushi pins Uemura in about 8 minutes. Like I said, it was pretty standard. There wasn't much to this one. And the second match was Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens of the Bullet Club versus Lance Archer and Njpw Climax. Wait, I probably butchered that name, sorry. But in the match, Chase Owens STF the Yoshi. That's who I'll just shorten his name that way to make it easier. Archer chokeslammed the Chase while Bad Luck Fale chokeslams Yoshi. It's kind of like and then they go at it right away. Those two just start beating each other up. I thought it was pretty cool. They fight all the way to the outside. Archer gets the upper hand and takes guardrail and puts Fale down, and then puts him underneath it and just lays on top of the guardrail, putting all his pressure down on Fale. Which didn't look all that awful, but it did do a lot of damage. Then to finish the match, Chase package pile driver Yoshi. Chase pins Yoshi for the win in about 6 minutes. It was a very short match, very short tag match. Nothing really that special about it. Although that New Japan does like their tag team matches, they like to keep them short for some reason. I don't understand. If they're that proud of their tag teams and six-man tags, why they don't extend these matches out a little bit. A lot of them are, 10, 12 minutes max, and then a lot of times they're under 10 minutes. I just don't understand their theory on that. But whatever, that's who they are. Next match, yet again, is another six-man tag. It was Kenta, Carl Fredericks, and Clark Connors. Both Carl and Clark are from the LA dojo, versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, Ren Narita, and Shota Umino, which Narita and Umino are out of the Njpw dojo. So it was a dojo war. In the match, Connors and Narita show amateur background, and they chain wrestle for a good chunk of 2 minutes or so right on the mat. It was a good show of chain wrestling. That's very, very different for New Japan. You don't see a lot of that there. It's more strong style there than anything else. But that was a good showing. I liked it. Let's see. Kenta and Tanahashi exchanged blows back and forth in the middle of the ring for quite some time, and neither one wanted to give to the other. Tanahashi gives Kenta a clover leaf, which is something I've never seen out of him, although from what I understand he's done it quite a bit. I've just never seen it. He's more of a strong style guy himself as well. I don't see him doing many submissions, but it happens. Narita Boston Crab to Fredericks. Fredericks turns it around, does a single leg Boston Crab to Menderita, who immediately taps out. They win in about 11 minutes. Next card. Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yoshihashi and Kazuchika Okada. Zack Sabre Jr. and Okada start the match at a fast pace by just beating and pummeling each other real fast. A lot of off-the-rope moves. Yoshihashi and Suzuki exchanged blows in the middle of the ring, back and forth. There was a lot of this during this pay-per-view, which I liked. Zack Sabre Jr. puts Okada in an octopus stretch. Which many of you don't know, that's just stretching out each and every limb along the way. And eventually it wears them down to where they have to tap out or they pass out. Actually some type of stranglehold, and I like it. Not many people use that these days. They don't use submission that'll incapacitate an opponent on every corner and every limb. I like that. Zack Sabre Jr. gives Yoshihashi an armbar, and Yoshihashi taps out almost immediately. That was 12 minutes. These first few matches are very short. I mean, 12 minutes is an okay match for something like that, but I'd like to have seen more out of that, to be honest with you. Now we get to the Block B matches. Now, in the block matches, it's 2 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, and 1 point for a time limit draw. The first Block B match was Juice Robinson versus Shingo Takagi, which I thought was a very good, hard-fought match between the two. I like both guys. You know, just something. I like their styles. They're the same, but they're different. Shingo Takagi DDT's Juice on the floor. That was pretty nasty looking. Juice looked like he hurt himself there, but because at points in the match, Juice was holding his neck, so I think it did affect him a little bit. Shingo and Juice exchange chops in the middle of the ring. There's a lot of that. Juice outside in slingshot DDT to Shingo. That was pretty cool because you don't see that much in New Japan as well. That's more of an American style thing. Or even Mexican, even the luchadors. They do stuff like that a lot. They like that high flying stuff. Juice gives Shingo the juice box, which is basically puts him on his shoulders and then drops him into a lung blower. I think it's an interesting name. Of course, Juice Robinson, that's what he named it. Takagi no Shigami, basically a gory special into a face buster to Juice. Juice gives Shingo the Pulp Friction, which is his version of Christian's Unprettier. If you remember back in the 90s and the early 2000s about that. Juice pins Takagi in about 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes. Juice gets 2 points and Takagi 0. The next Block B match, which is one I've been waiting for, is Tai Chi versus Moxley. Now, Tai Chi, I like Tai Chi. He's egocentrical, and he's all about himself and his superstardom. That's his character anyway. And Moxley, well, if you haven't seen Moxley wrestle, you need to see him. He's very, very good at what he does when he's allowed to have the reins for himself. But before the match even starts, Moxley was coming down through the crowd as his normal entrance. Tai Chi sneaks out of the ring, comes up behind him, and pummels Moxley in the crowd. After the match starts, Moxley sets up a table on the outside and gives Tai Chi a Noranagi through the table. Which is pretty painful because the table that they use is not a normal gimmick table. like the thin plywood tables we use here in the States. It was a thick wooden table. Had to have been at least 2 inches thick. So when it broke, that had to have hurt. Hell, it probably hurts if it doesn't break, because it's such a thick table. Tai Chi throws Moxley into the ref. Miho throws Tai Chi a chair, but Moxley grabs it. Now Miho is Tai Chi's girl, I don't know, trophy wife, I don't know what you want to call her, but she's used usually for distractions. She's very pretty, but that's why she's been used for, you know, what she is. But Moxley grabs the chair and throws it at Tai Chi. Throws it at his face, gives him the Death Rider, which is basically his version of the DDT. He picks him up and slams him down in a DDT. But this time, Tai Chi actually floated over, and it looked like it hurt even more. Moxley pins Tai Chi in about 9 minutes. Moxley gets 2 points, Tai Chi has 0. The next block match was Toru Yano versus Tetsuya Naito. Now, Toru Yano, if you don't know who he is, he's more of a comedy wrestler than anything else. And that's exactly what this match was. It was very comedy. But it was Naito who was doing the comedy, which pissed Yano off pretty good. But it was funny. Yano takes the turnbuckle off after a little comedy from Naito, which makes him mad. I already mentioned that, but that's the way the match pretty much started. A little role reversal, because Naito didn't want to take this very seriously, because he didn't even consider this a match. He just didn't even know why Yano's in there. But if you go back to Yano's history in the tournament, he plays spoiler in a lot of the tournaments, preventing people from actually winning the block and moving on to the finals, which was quite interesting. Now, Yano whips Naito into the ropes, and Naito holds on the ropes and bounces off him quite a few times while holding him. It's something Yano usually does. Just before that, Naito takes the turnbuckle off the other corner, or at least attempts to. Just a few moments before. This match did not last very long. Naito tries to use the turnbuckle pad on Yano. The ref jumps in and grabs it. Tries for a roll-up, and Naito kicks out. Very shortly after that, Yano pulls the ref's shirt over top of his head, low blows Naito, then puts Naito's shirt over his own head, chop blocks him, rolls him up, and he pins Naito. Oh my God, I did not see that coming. That was hilarious, and, well, I don't know what to say to that. Yano was very smart. I don't think he's a real wrestler, though, to be honest with you. I mean, he might be, but he doesn't show it, at least in his character. I thought it was very funny. It's a good comedy match, but I still say Naito should have won this hands down. This match only lasted 4 minutes, and Yano won in 4 minutes. That's insane. So Yano gets 2 points, and Naito has 0. The next block match was Tomohiro Ishii versus Jeff Cobb. 2 bulls. They are big guys. Ishii and Cobb, right from the start, test their strength to shoulder blocking each other. Like, they shoulder block each other like 5 or 6 times each. It was funny. It's just hilarious to see this happen. These are 2 big guys. Ishii pummels Cobb in the corner with chops and elbows repeatedly, probably 20 or 30 times. Excuse me. Cobb then gives Ishii a twisting side suplex, which is quite interesting to see, to lift Ishii up, because he's around 230, 240. But Jeff is no slouch himself. They say he's 270. I say he's over 300. Easy, just with the size of his head. Both exchange forearms back and forth about 20 times in the middle of the ring. It's just power versus power, and they're no-selling everything. There was a lot of no-sell in this match. And I was very impressed with Jeff Cobb after that, because at one point he did a standing moonsault. For a guy that's 300 pounds, that's what at least what I'm guessing, to do that is insane. Just picture that. Just imagine you hadn't seen the pay-per-view yet, and just imagine, just close your eyes and imagine that happening. That's crazy. I really had to stop it and watch it again because I couldn't believe it myself. Cobb forearms Ishii. Ishii steps into all of them. He must have done that 6 or 7 times. He steps into it and no-sells every single one, which was impressive, because that's just who Ishii is, though. He no-sells a lot of stuff. He does take a lot of punishment, too. Ishii brainbusters Cobb, and he pins Cobb in about 18 minutes. So Ishii gets 2 points, and Cobb has 0. Then we get to the main event, the last match on the card. It's Hiroki Goto versus Jay White, which I don't think should have finished the show. I believe Cobb and Ishii should have been the main event here. But that's just the way I would book things. But it was Hiroki Goto versus Jay White. Right from the start, Goto interferes and grabs Goto's leg, which allows Jay White to take advantage of it and start beating him up. He beats him up on the outside a lot, throws him into the railing, and then the ring, and then the railing, and then the ring, screwing up his back. Let's see. And later in the match, real late in the match, I like this part. Jay White with the Blade Buster, which is a twisting brain buster. I kind of enjoyed that, actually. Jay White pushes the ref down. Goto hard clotheslines him, because Jay White was mad that the ref wanted to stop the match because Goto looked like he was out. But I think he was playing possum, to be honest with you. Goto Ushigoroshi to Jay White. Goto gives Jay White a GTR, which I believe stands for go to rest instead of go to sleep, which some of those wrestlers do use. Basically, it's a downward clothesline. He comes down like this onto and then he drives him into his own knee, which is pretty ugly if you look at it. Goto gets in the ring again and tries to distract him, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Goto gives the GTR to White one more time. Goto pins White in about 21 minutes, which I believe is the longest match on this card, which gives gives Goto 2 points and White 0 points. So the Block B standings as of after their first round matches is Juice Robinson 2 points, Jon Moxley 2 points, Toru Yano 2 points, Ishii 2 points, and Goto 2 points, and the rest all have 0. Now that's it for the pay-per-view. I will not be doing reviews and predictions for the rest of the tournament until the finals, because those tournaments, this whole entire tournament happens within 3 weeks, but most of the matches are consecutive and all the rounds are consecutive, and it's just something my job won't allow me to do because I just don't have the time. Time is the big issue here, but I will be back with you every 2 or 3 days with some news on match winners and point updates. Now come back with me later, as I will have my review for Fight for the Fallen up. Until then, always be elite.